Good evening, folks. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can get more content just like this. And if you are a returning buddy, please give me a thumbs up. So, hey, Tony B. Tony B in the house. He says, go home. Okay, Tony B, I am in Grand Haven, Michigan right now, getting ready to pick up my son. Right now, here, I know there it's 9:51. Here it is 10:51. I have to pick him up at 11:15. So I drove Grand Rapids, Michigan, first time, and doing rideshare. And I wanted to share with you my experience. So I started out, I have pneumonia, and or I'm just getting over pneumonia. I'm still having the pain and stuff, but I'm not, I'm not super sick like I was. And so it's not good for me to do deliveries. Well, go home if you have pneumonia. The doctor said I could do rideshare, but I can't do deliveries. So I turned on my Uber app, because when you turn on your Uber app, it used to have this big red bar if you were outside of your area, and it wouldn't let you sign on, but it would let me sign on. And I was like, okay, let me try this out. Well, yeah, I'm saying you can't. Go home, says Tony. Okay, so, the reason why it lets you sign on is because it'll let you drive Uber Eats. It kept trying to give me McDonald's orders. And I was like, what's going on with this? So I decided to drive straight to the Uber hub. And they said, this is what they said. For Uber, you have to take 2 weeks to wait for the city emblem to come, to get at least 2 weeks. And then we're going to deactivate your account for 2 weeks, so you can't even use your account in order for you to transfer it over here, because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. It could be a month. And then they said, if you go back to Chicago, you're going to have to wait 2 more weeks for your account to be being deactivated to transfer it back over there. And I was like, forget that. But I turned on Lyft, bam, shazam, I started getting rides after rides after rides. And I'm not having all this jumping through all these crazy hoops. And my car is up to date, I don't get it. So so I started driving around, and the surge, there's not as much surge in Grand Rapids as there is in Chicago right now. On a Monday night, you get surge generally from 4 until 7. Well, there was like a short, more like 5 until 7. There was a short amount of surge around 5 to 7, but it wasn't nothing like in Grand Rapids or in Chicago. But then it didn't start surging again till like 10 o'clock at night. So, but I did notice you have to watch the video. There are certain airports that are a lot easier to, let's say, get in the queue. And I just happened to be in a particular airport here and found out it was very easy to get in the queue. So I actually got one airport run, but the thing is I didn't know where to go or what to do. So I do have a friend here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I didn't know it was an airport pickup, but I do have a friend here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I can call and ask him about what to do when I go to the airport, because if you know anything, at least in Chicago, if you are going to the airport in Chicago and you park and pick people up in the wrong spot, you can get a $250 to $500 fine. So you better be on your toes if you're here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But if you're or not here in Grand Rapids, if you're in Chicago, you have to be on your toes and not park in like coned in areas and all that. How can you get a ticket if you're sitting in your car? You should drive off there. You can't drive off. You can't. It's illegal. It's like they'll run you down and then you'll get it for fleeing the police. Yeah, you can't. They can kiss my dust. He says, no, you can get it for, that's illegal to flee the police. They'll pull your ass over and you get more tickets for fleeing the police when they're trying to give you, you can't do that. And, plus they have cameras, and even if you do get away, they have your license plate on their camera. So, yeah, I would say F the police. Tony, listen. You are, we need to train you up, boy, because you're floor it too, he says. Yeah, you know what? Listen, you're going to end up in prison if you keep on this way, boy. We need to set a good example for you. So anyway, so I don't have, the strategy that I use in Chicago obviously is not going to work here in Grand Rapids. I'm sure people are going to say, oh, you were in Grand Rapids. Tell me where the best places to go. You would know better than me because this is my first day, and I've had that when I was doing Uber Eats in Grand Rapids. The general rule is go towards the city, and that's what I did. I went to, when I was doing Uber Eats, and this is what I'm doing now. Go towards like Leonard Street. There's a lot of businesses on Leonard. Alpine. There's a lot of businesses there. The East Belt Line, the 28th Street. I found all kinds of rides. Now doing Lyft, it was popping. I was constantly rolling. Only if I had to stop and take a break did I stop. But I didn't get the surge. But it is Monday. In Chicago, you would get surge on a Monday because a lot of people are going to and from the airport. Now, I didn't work the airport. The airport is way far away from me. So, I did end up there at one point in time, but there are people an airport is closer to me in Chicago than in here in Grand Rapids. So, but if you know how to work the airport, you can work the airport in Chicago, and you can make a decent living, even though they have changed the way they do everything with the airports now, with long runs. The problem is they charge the customers a lot of money for those long runs, and they're not giving you a big cut of those long runs anymore. They're taking a lot of the surge off those long runs and etc. So it's important to keep that in mind. And if you don't believe me, look at your earnings, because they are taking a lot more from you for long runs. I know you're like, oh, I love those on runs, but the nice thing is they did up our per month. Oh, hi, Nicholas Winecoop. Bus driver lady pro, he says. Nicholas Winecoop, I'm kind of unexpectedly in Muskegon, Michigan, or not Muskegon, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, doing rideshare here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. my house is in Muskegon, Michigan. I have a house in Muskegon, Michigan, and it's not because I'm rich. It's because I ended up hurting my back as a nurse aide, and they couldn't employ me further. So I ended up getting a settlement check back in like 2013, and I bought a little house with it. So I own it outright, and my son lives in it, and you know, keeps it up, fixes it up, everything like that. And whenever I need to, I come and stay here. I stay in the house and visit my family and stuff. But, you know, I was having problems with my spouse. You know how things go in marriages sometimes. You get in arguments, and it's like, I need to go stay and get some air. So I don't know how long I'm going to be here in Michigan, but it's like, it's really great to see ups and downs. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I will say, being married is way worth it. It's way worth it, even though it's work. It's not easy. You know what I mean? It is work. And especially my spouse is from a different culture, and so it is. You have to kind of work together and like not get ticked off over the small stuff. So, you know, pick your battles, they say. Yeah, it takes two to tango. Yes, exactly. And and sometimes it's like your ego is arguing with their ego, and if you just like, you know, chill out and, you know, yeah. So we're chilling out right now. Just taking some space and hanging. But I was already going to come here. I thought I was already going to come here anyway, but I didn't know I was going to, you know, pack all my stuff up and put it in the car and come here. So yeah, the experience has been awesome, learning about, okay, so when I was in Florida, I turned my Uber app on, and it said, let me see your face. It wanted me to see my face to make sure it was me and it wasn't somebody that was, you know, and I gave them a picture of my face, and they made sure it was me. But they were going to let me drive. And I was like, oh, wow, I can drive in Florida. But I didn't look at my options, and I didn't try to drive in Florida because I wasn't even in my car. Okay. Well, what they do, they used to put a big red bar over your app if you were in a different state. Now they let you random checkups by Uber and Lyft. Now what they do is they will let you drive Uber Eats in like Florida or wherever you might be. They'll let you drive Uber Eats, but because they won't let you drive regular rideshare. You can't drive regular rideshare for Uber. They say they'll have to suspend your account. And then not only will they suspend your account, they said it'll take at least 2 weeks for them to suspend your account. And then once they suspend your account, then if you say say I get my account suspended and I start working rideshare here, when I do go back to Chicago, then I would have to have my account suspended again in Chicago, and I'm not sure if it would completely suspend all of my account, or if it would just suspend the rideshare part. Now, if any of you know, I used to do just plain Uber Eats. When I started out, I used to do just plain Uber Eats, and I took my old Uber Eats account and I sent it over to Grand Rapids, Michigan, so that when I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I can do Uber Eats. And I thought about checking out, because I've done DoorDash. And although I don't want to do DoorDash on a regular basis, I thought about switching my DoorDash account over to, because you get more rides. DoorDash is popping a lot more. Now, I don't know how it is here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It might be different. But in Chicago, it's there's a lot. I think DoorDash has a lot more accounts than than Uber Eats. Was staying busy with DoorDash. You know, Uber Eats, you stay busy only between, like, say 11 and 1 o'clock, whereas with DoorDash, you can stay busy even in the non-busy times. Even at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're busy. You're still getting rides. And then not only that, is if you aren't getting a ride, and this is in the north side, I was doing it. Even if you aren't getting a ride, they send you to an area that has more DoorDash accounts. So they do like what Uber does, and they send you to busier areas, so you're more likely to get runs. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I will go on, because I don't really want to do DoorDash. Because of this whole tip stealing thing. But if in a pinch, if I'm stuck here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I'm like, man, I want to make some money, I could do DoorDash here. I mean, just temporarily, you know. So what do you guys do? Do any of you guys do others than just Rideshare? Do you do DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates? I just signed up for Deliv, but because of the pneumonia, I'm not going to be able to do I'm not going to be able to do any deliveries until Bus Driver Lady Pro. Take my Lyft job extremely seriously by knowing I stand out above the rest because of my Lyft amp, Lyft roof light, and customized Nick Lyft window light. That is for shifts and giggles. Shits and giggles. Yeah, my Lyft amp just died. I've had it for forever, a couple years now, and it just died. And I can't, it won't stay charged. So I don't know. But I am doing Lyft here in Grand Rapids, and I'm staying pretty busy, like I was telling everybody. It is staying pretty steady. So he says, you see me coming. Yeah. And you know what? Lyft, when I went into the hub, they're like, oh, if you have that Lyft sign, you'll get more tips. I think that's a bunch of BS. I think the reason why they're saying that is they probably have less people cancel their trips because they have Lyft drivers. People are easier. People can find them easier. Now here in Grand Rapids, I tried to look up a Lyft hub and I did not see one. So, and I really hate that Lyft makes it so hard for you to call customer support on the phone. They make you fill out this form, and it's not Lyft text bonuses to me now, not in the driver app anymore. Weird. Yeah, Lyft barely ever does any bonuses for me at all, ever. You know what? And it depends on your market. I don't know if it's because there's like 80,000 drivers in Chicago, but I do get a little bit of Lyft prime time. But I did notice here that Lyft was doing, if you do 3 rides, you get bonuses, etc. So guys, I gotta drive and pick up my son, so I'm gonna keep talking. Stay with me. So he's just like a couple minutes away. So yeah, they did do, like, if you do a certain amount of runs, you get that extra, $5 or $6 bonus. I can't remember. Bonuses depend on the year of your car, somewhat, I believe. I think bonuses depend on whether or not they need you. I really do. I think it's really super busy. I think then they'll give you bonuses. But if it's not super busy, of course they're not going to give you bonuses. The thing is in the Chicago market, they have saturated the market so much. So there, I mean, there's 80,000 drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers in the Chicago market. It's just ridiculous. But here, yeah, in Chicago, everywhere you can see an Uber and Lyft driver. You see Uber signs all over, everywhere. And they're not here in Grand Rapids. They're not. You don't see, like every single car is an Uber or Lyft car. Every single one. Hold on, I gotta find this. It's right, I know it's right around this curve. There's just not as many, and I don't know if, this is a different industry here. People are working factories more here. Maybe that's why, maybe the better jobs are better. I did see an article about, people are taking back their estimations on how much, the ride-sharing community, he says, I love lifting. 3 rides, $15 streak bonuses I get in Buffalo, New York. I'm gonna come up in August to Buffalo, New York. My sister is having a baby. She lives in Buffalo, New York. So we may be having a meetup in August because I have to spend time with my sister. I haven't seen her since she was real little. So she's my half sister. And then my other sister I'm bringing here to visit. Yeah. And that would be cool. Then you could come on and we could see each other. But what I plan on doing is that thing called roadie, where you take stuff for people, like maybe somebody needs a Christmas tree, their Christmas tree brought to New York, or maybe they need a table, or, whatever I can fit in my regular car, I'm going to bring to New York from Chicago, and then it'll pay for my gas. I mean, what the heck? Might as well. And then I'm going to pick up my sister, not the one that's having the baby. I have 2 sisters there. I'm going to pick up one of my sisters, and here comes my son. Here. I'm live streaming right now, buddy. Hop in. So I'm going to pick up one of my sisters, and then maybe I'll roadie back and get all kinds of stuff, but that's my plan. Put your seatbelt on. I know, but the minute you get in the car, you've got to put your seatbelt on, or else the car will start yelling at you and throwing shit at you, and it'll get mad at you. Yeah, you don't want to take my car off. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm gonna call it a night, and let me know how things are going there. I know, Nicholas Winecoop, you absolutely love Lyft. I love too. I am a master liftsman. Well, I'm a master DriverLadyPro. Keep your fool ass mouth shut. Psh, I didn't hit him enough when he was a child. So, yeah, when I'm in Chicago, I get that, like, I get going and I'm like, psh, 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 psh. I just love it. I love driving. I love doing Uber and Lyft. I do. I got to tell you a story. I don't want to be driving. We're kind of on the back roads. I'll tell you a quick story and then I'll go. Tonight I picked up this woman, and I don't know if she was a prostitute, but she was drunk, and she was talking about how her boyfriend that just got out of prison for 15 years or something, was telling her that, hey, Dustin is driving. Hey, he says, it's DriverLadyPro. She drives like a boss and tries to stay classy like a lady. Yes. My son is with me. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
And, so, what was I saying? Oh, I picked up this lady and she was talking about how, she was gang raped. And her boyfriend, Nicholas Winecoop says hi, Jason. I'm going to pull over for a second. And she was talking about how her boyfriend was telling her that because she was hanging around a bunch of guys, that it was her fault. And I was like, why didn't that she, I mean, she like got gang raped or something. And then she said, Dustin is driving said, hi son, he's my friend. Dustin is driving is my buddy in Florida. He also has a very popular channel. Anyway, so she was talking about how she was gang raped. And I was like, why didn't you call the police? She said they held a gun to her head, and I figured out after the story that she was talking about this happened a year and a half ago. And she said when they were holding a gun to her head, then she agreed to it. And then she said after that happened, she started drinking, and her whole life went downhill. So in the past year and a half, her whole life has gone downhill. And I said, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you go to the police? And she says, well, I don't go to the police. I'm not one of those, something like that. I'm not I'm not a rat. You know what I mean? I don't talk to the police. And then she said she had warrants out for arrest anyway. And she was talking about how bad her life has gone downhill. She said, I'm 40 years old and my life has gone downhill. And if I go to the police, they'll probably put me in jail anyway, etc. And I was thinking, I said to her, ma'am, it doesn't matter what is going on. You need to do something about it. But after she went away, and some people, it doesn't matter. I could try and make her and explain to her, you should go to the police, you should tell what's going on and stuff like that. But at least I really think if something like that happens, you should try to seek help, like with a counselor or something, because she was just continuing to drink and drink. When I picked her up, she was like intoxicated, and she was talking about how her boyfriend that just got out of prison is saying that it's her fault. I'm like, where do you find these guys? This is, I mean, first of all, if you got a boyfriend that just got out of prison.
I want to go home.
I know you want to go home. So, yeah. Anyway.
I just worked all day.
Yeah, you can lay down and relax. Sit back and relax. There you go. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah, crazy. And people think this is okay to live like this. They do. I feel like the older I get, the more I realize it's important to, if you let somebody in your house and you let them walk all over your house with dirty shoes, whose fault, and you don't say anything, whose fault is it?
Are you saying it's her fault because she got raped?
No, I am not. I'm saying as you get older, it's important for you to set your own boundaries and tell people, you cannot come in my house with dirty shoes. That's why when people come to my channel and they start spamming my channel, I'm like, no, buddy, see you later, bye. And I remove them from my channel because this is my channel. If you want to be spamming, you can go on your own, make your own channel. You know what I mean? And it's about self-love. It's not about being an asshole to somebody. If you don't want somebody to put dirt all over your house and you say, look, don't put dirt, you're not being mean. You're saying, I got to take care of myself and my house, It's about respect. Yeah, exactly. So, but some people, they're not there yet. Maybe they have to go through more life lessons before they can actually learn to respect their own selves. Before you get into relationships, it's important to respect yourself, because how can you give love if you don't have love for your own self? How can you give it away? Otherwise you're coming from a sense of lack. Ignorance is a damn shame, says Nicholas Winecoop. Well, yeah, I just feel like people like that really have to learn. They have more life lessons to learn. For instance, really, I think, I really think Hitler really had a lot more life lessons than, say, you or me. Okay? A lot of life lessons coming to him. Hi, Tina Lindquist. Yes, I'm in Michigan right now. Say hi.
Hi.
That's my son. I just picked him up. And he wants me to bring him home, so I can't be on this. Thank you for joining me, Tina. Make sure, we got 5 people in the room. Please make sure you guys give me a thumbs up. When you give a thumbs up, I didn't know this, but when you give a thumbs up, it's I are back. Hope you are doing well. Oh, hi, Josh. What's what your name is? Are you asking what my son's name is? His name is Bob. No, I wouldn't name him Bob. His name is Jason. Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Tina. I know, but I got like a good 15-minute drive in the dark. Oh, hi, Frank El Franco. Good to see you. All right, nice talking to you guys. Stay strong. It's about to snow for the next 5 days, which actually, you know what that means? More money. And it's your name, because I don't know what your title is. On its channel, I just subscribed because I was referred. Okay, my name is Josh. You don't know what my name is. My name is Mandy. I tell people all the time, but okay, my real name is Mandy Martinez. We lost power here in Belleville, Michigan. Okay, well, it's not snowing that bad. We have like this much snow so far. But,
ice.
Yeah, we do have ice underneath all of it. Yeah, because we've been having, the melting and the snowing and the melting and the snowing, so. And last night, when I was bringing all my stuff to my house, the neighbor's siding was coming off, and my son was trying to fix it and push it back in, but if you try to fix it, I mean, it still kept coming on, but if you try and fix it, sometimes they'll get mad at you. So we just left it. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for stopping by. We got 4 thumbs up. Can I get 5? So
are we leaving?
Calm down.
You said goodbye 12 times.
Hustle hard, but hustle smart. If you don't hustle smart, take your broke ass home. DriverLadyPro out.